I'm super excited to share with you all this email that I received from one of the lovely viewers on July 17th. Today's the 20th. I'm recording this video on July 20th. And they wanted me to share this email with you all. And I'm glad they wanted me to share because this is the second email, maybe third email I've gotten within the past month or two where people are sharing their stories on their SP journeys. And I think it's extremely important because we are creating a community, Tim and we are creating a community of where people can share these types of stories so you can see how common it is because these are the types of stories that people don't talk about in the SP community. And I'm excited that Tim and I have started to create these videos and to create these platforms and to go against the narrative of somebody getting an SP back in 3 days or a week or whatever the time frame is. I'm excited to create this platform for people to wake up and really see what's going on in the SP community, in the SP world, because the story that I'm getting ready to read is more common than you realize. So if you too have an SP story or a journey that you would like to share and I can keep you anonymous, please don't hesitate to write into me because so many people could benefit from your story. So many people are probably going through your exact situation. And this is why Tim and I have created a community by making different videos talking about this stuff in a real way and trying to help you guys deal with it in a real way. And this is why Tim and I started group coaching and individual coaching together. We had our first group coaching session last week and it was great. You know, the group coaching will most likely tend to be private and small because of time zone differences and stuff like that. So you can only expect, max maybe 5 people in there, maybe 10 when it gets super busy, but I would say 5 or less. So there'll be super intimate private group sessions to where we can just be a community. And we are excited for the growth that's coming with that. So if you guys are interested in joining our group coaching, which will be every week, don't hesitate to reach out to me and Tim. Don't hesitate to fill out our questionnaire because we want to create a community around the realness and the real stuff that people go through in manifesting a specific person and not this fluff that we see on the internet. But with that being said, let me go ahead and jump right into the story that this lovely viewer sent me. So the email goes as followed. Marvin, I just wanted to share something with you. I am so thankful and grateful for your videos. I spent 3 years off and on attempting to manifest 10 different specific persons from 2021 to 2024. I've noticed the difference when I focused on a it's specific person versus when I focus on things that I need to do for myself. I came to the realization in April that I needed to focus on self, and I noticed things begin to improve in my life. But then when I started going back to focusing on a specific person, I noticed the difference. I was not focused on things that I need to focus on for myself. I was listening to so many different coaches. I was listening to SP only channels. I've come to a major realization after this second mini meltdown about specific persons. I focus on myself, important to myself. Thank you for sharing the real deal about how this manifestation stuff works and the truth about specific person manifestations. I am now in a much better place mentally, spiritually, and physically. I do mostly self concept and I also affirm for money, health, and career. I got caught up in the hype for a while. I was listening to all different coaches. A journey actually started in 2012 when I first heard about law of attraction. I used to watch You Are Creator's guy named Justin on there talking about the law of attraction principles and how law of attraction has worked for him. Then I used to listen to Abraham Hicks as well as Bob Proctor. In 2019, I came across all of Assumption. I think she meant to say law of assumption. Then on my law of assumption journey, I would listen to all coaches starting with Sammy Ingram, Roxy Talks, Joseph Ally, Kimberly's Manifesting with Kimberly, Ava Subconscious Laws, Shelley Bullard. I've learned so much from different manifestation coaches. I come from a religious church background, and I found out what the missing link was for me, and that was mindset. I mostly used to do just prayer and fasting, but even though I was doing those spiritual disciplines, I still had a lot of fears and concerns and worries, and really, I think she meant in reality. I was taught to pray vocally about things in the church world. They didn't really touch on what it means to really change your mindset So I've learned a lot on this journey of law of attraction and now law of assumption. I realized that I did not have to limit myself to just love assumption. Again, I just want to thank you and Tim for the good work that you are doing when it comes to breaking down law of assumption and actually being able to use these principles and being shown how to use these principles in a way that everybody can use them. If you want to share this on your channel, you can share the anonymously. I'm pretty sure there's others out there that have been through the same frustration that I've been through when it comes to actually taking the time to utilize these principles. Have a wonderful day. What a lovely self realization that this person had. And it's not anything Tim and I haven't heard already, because this is very often Tim and I hear these kinds of stories. And this is why I said in past videos, it's so important who you come across first. Because as this person stated, I mean, all of these people that this person mentioned in here that they watched, I've seen all of these people. All of these people's YouTube channels, I've seen all of them, because back in those days, I was studying competition, and I was studying to see what different content creators were talking about, how they were talking about it, and all of that type of stuff, because you study your competition. As I said in my last video, I am a student to everyone. I always take notes and learn from everyone. One of the biggest mistakes I see people make is they always listen to people and follow along with people that they agree with. And that can be dangerous because, and this happens in politics all the time. If you're considered left leaning and liberal, if you only watch liberal news, your opinion will start to become biased and you don't realize, oh, there's another side. Maybe I have to listen to what the conservatives are saying. And it's vice versa with conservatives. If you only listen to conservative news, then you will miss out potentially on your blind spots and seeing and understanding what the left liberal media might be saying and realizing, oh, they actually might have a point. This is how biases are developed. So you have to be careful when you're on this law of attraction, law of assumption journey and learning from different teachers and not get caught up in one particular teacher and start to think that, oh, their way is the only way, their way is the only right way. Because we do that with church, we do that with religion, we do that in politics. We're so caught up in listening to one side only that we don't remember and we forget there's a whole other side of the spectrum that we are not listening to. So that's why I encourage you guys to listen to everybody, because you can learn something even from your enemies. I said this in my last video. Be a student of everything, of everyone. Even if you take only 1% from something that somebody is saying, that 1% could be the 1% that you're missing. So don't ever get to the point to where you're so arrogant and you're thinking that you think, oh, I don't need to listen to them. Oh, I don't need to listen to such and such. Oh, I don't need to listen to this person. Because you never know. They might say one piece of advice that can get you to cross that bridge that you've been trying to cross for this entire time. This person in here also mentioned church. Church, religion means well a lot of times, but church, one of the biggest problems that I see with church is church tells you and teaches us to look outside of ourselves. Church teaches us and tells us that a lot of times we don't have any power, even though the Bible doesn't say that. But for some reason, when pastors and preachers and whoever teach, they teach in a way to make people think that they are powerless, when in fact we are powerful. This person said in her email that she was praying and fasting, but still something was missing. She came from a church background, and the missing link was mindset. She said church really didn't teach on how to change your mindset. I want you to think about that, because one could argue that the Bible, that's all the Bible is a book on mindset. In fact, that's basically what Neville teaches, is that the Bible isn't an actual account of history. It's states of man. It's a mindset thing. And the different characters are different states. And obviously Jesus is the final end state that you want to strive to get to. One of the worst things that I see Christians do that I cannot stand when they're trying to pray or when I try to make things happen in their life is so many Christians pray from a position of lack. So since we always talk about SP, so many people always pray. They pray to God, God, please, please give me the right SP. God, please bring this person back. God, please, please, God. So many Christians pray from a position of lack. If you think about in the Bible when Jesus prayed, Jesus never prayed from a position of lack. Jesus always gave thanks when he prayed. Jesus always prayed and talked as if it was already done. I understand this stuff is easier said than done because I've said that religiously in my videos, but I want all of you guys to start focusing on that when you speak life, when you speak things into existence into your life. Start focusing on understanding what prayer really is. Prayer isn't you saying words out loud. Prayer is a feeling. That's what the prayer is. When you feel a certain way, you're communicating to the universe. The universe doesn't necessarily communicate through words, the universe communicates through feelings. That's why you always hear Neville talk about feeling is the secret. This is why if you want to be in a relationship with somebody, if you want to be in a relationship new or old, you have to feel like you're in that relationship, as they say. If you want to have money, be rich, you have to feel like you have money and you're rich before those riches show up. That's the real prayer. The real prayer isn't getting on your knees, praying outside of yourself for desperation, because that's what most of us do when we are ignorant to who we really are and the fact that we are also gods. We have that same power. And a lot of people in the church think that that type of talk is blasphemous, but it's not because it's in the Bible. It says that we are gods. But for some reason, that makes people in the church uncomfortable. I don't get it. I do get it, but I don't get it. Y'all know what I mean. This story is a perfect example also of how everyone's journey is different. Everyone's journey is beautiful and unique in their own way. Even though we all go through the same thing, we all have a starting point. And to get from A to B, that route is different. To get from A to B to C, that route is different. But we all end up at C eventually, somehow, some way. But how we get there might be slightly different or a lot different. But bottom line is, as long as we get there. And this story is a beautiful story of her journey and coming across different teachers and not knowing who to trust and getting caught up in the hype and going down that dark path of SP content, which a lot of you guys are in right now, potentially, and just watching SP content, getting consumed with SP content. I think a lot of people start there, but then as time goes on, like this viewer said, you realize the only thing that matters is you, yourself, your love, your mindset. And your mindset is so important because that was one of the things we kind of talked about in our group coaching session last week when we touched on. And I was mentioning to everybody that you got to go into these things with the right mindset because when a lot of people are trying to manifest an SP, new or old, especially if trying to manifest somebody old back, one of the biggest mistakes that people make is they react from a place of desperation instead of confidence. They react from a place of uncertainty and not knowing. And I said in the group chat, I said, your SP can feel that because Tim and I are encouraging in our group chat. We were talking to people and we are encouraging people to figure out how you can make the move on your SP and take action the right way, not in a dating advice way, not in a I don't know, manipulating type of way, but how you can take action the right way. Because Tim and I, we believe in LOA, but we also believe in taking common sense action sometimes. Because a lot of you guys aren't in touch with your SP simply because you haven't reached out to them. And maybe it's time for you to reach out to them. I said that in a video maybe about a month or two ago. But I made a statement in the group coaching call that when you reach out to your person, Don't reach out to them with desperate energy because they're going to feel that and it's going to repel them. People can feel when you're trying to get, when you're trying to get something from them, that getting energy is so draining. When they can feel, oh, this person is just trying to text me just to stay in touch. Oh, this person really doesn't care about how my day is. They just wanted to text me because they're bored or they wanted to know that I'm around, that they still have access to me. People can feel that type of energy. And so that's what we work on, is getting you out of that type of energy and making you contact somebody from a standpoint of confidence, of certainty, of real love, of trying to give to them instead of trying to get something from them, which is a conversation or contact. This is the type of stuff Tim and I go deep on. We go deep on this type of stuff because, quite frankly, just living in the inn, it's not working for a lot of people. This navigating the middle, this navigating the gray area is extremely difficult. And so Tim and I are trying to really help you understand how to use these principles, how to walk you through the stages of getting your person back and holding your hand and helping you on what to say next. Okay, this happened. All right, this is what you should do next. All right, this happened. All right, this is what you want to do now. You know, when you have somebody guiding your hand, it gets a lot easier, especially somebody that's giving you real life, real good practical advice and not advice that's trying to make you some sort of manipulator or advice that's going to have you waiting for months. Like I said, some of you guys could be in contact with your SP right now if you just had the gumption to make the first move or knew what to say. And again, that's where Tim and I can help potentially with, is helping you construct what to say, helping you send that text or write that letter or send that whatever, that friend request on Facebook to get back in touch with them. Because these things are detailed and minute at that. So once again, shout out to this viewer for writing in their story and sharing their story with everybody on the channel, because I'm sure you helped somebody just from this story. And to all of you out there, if you have a story, please don't hesitate to send it in, because I'm sure you can help a stranger somewhere in the world.